Yeah, my teleport should trigger like next turn. I would be very surprised if it didn't trigger, because I read it. I read it and then I drank heal wounds and then I drank brilliance. So like the next action really has to be teleport. Um, I wonder where we are going to land. Pretty much anything, anywhere within line of sight of these dead scarabs, and I'm pretty much going to die. Let's play around that actually by reading Immolation. Oh wow, we have not teleported yet. Oh, that is getting pretty close. Oh, I died. How did I die there? Killed by something's death curse. Oh my, that is awful. No. Okay, so I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Like I vastly overestimated my ability to survive there. Like I was like, I have 70 HP. I should be okay. But clearly I wasn't okay, and that was also a meme. Let's be completely fair. I was a meme. That was a meme. The Meebus slain by a Seraph. Oh, there's a Meebus slain by a Seraph here? Oh, there is. In D3, in the way back up from the dungeon. Funny thing indeed. So this was my third rune. I had 2 runes, and this was going to be my third rune because I saw that I got Shatter, I got Necromutation, and I decided to give it a try. But I greatly underestimated how annoying menus are when your best spell is Starburst or Shatter, I guess, and your second best spell is Starburst. Why is there a Demigod Ice Elementalist in Doom 3? Maybe that person was also doing something similar to me. When I entered Doom, I was experience level 25. I only leveled up to 27 after clearing Tomb 1. Pretty fun thing. I would recommend you not to do that if you want to win, but if you want to make a funny experiment, you can always give that a try. And I think I had the tools to save the character, but I just like didn't use them. I could have also, like, instead of shattering, I could have just waited a turn and I would have survived, like almost guaranteed to survive. I am a bit astonished at the fact that I took so much damage in a single turn. Do not underestimate that curses, it seems, because they can be pretty messed up. With that being said, let's go ahead and start another Djinn. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing a lot of Djinns. I've already played the best ones, I think, which are Ice Elementalist. The one that I just killed is an Ice Elementalist, or was an Ice Elementalist. And Venom Mage, I won and won that. So I guess I have a couple of them left. Earth Elementalist has to be like not terrible. I don't think I will be the first new Djinn Enchanter win. Yeah, I will leave that to someone else that actually likes Enchanter. I like good characters, and I don't particularly think that Enchanter is a good character. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that Enchanter and Transmuter are like very good at making good species into not so good species. Let's see, let's go back to my playlist. Okay, we can listen to that. Haven't heard that one on stream yet. So I have not won a Fire Elementalist, but I really don't want to go through the early game of the Fire Elementalist again. It is really bad and unfun. I don't want to play Summoner. I guess Conjurer can be what I play. Really not a fan of Conjurer, but we can deal with it. It's not that big of a deal. Especially starting with 15 mana. I think one of the greatest issues that Conjurers have is that they get such little mana to begin the game, and they really need a lot of mana because Magic Dart is not really the best of the level 1 spells. Even though it cannot miss, it like deals very pitiful damage. Oh wait, oh no, never mind. I actually did the thing tonight. Okay, so D1, not much to say. As long as you're not a melee character, you should be okay in D1. And it's even better when you're like actually a strong ranged character, like for example a Venom Mage. A Venom Mage should really not have any issues with D1. I got Summon Small Mamal, which I am not going to use because fortunately I have better spells than that, and I don't really need to use that one. Oh, look at that, a bolt. I would like to open that up, but I guess I'm gonna have to wait for a little while to be able to do so. So yeah, not a good night for my characters. Two characters that could have very easily won the game died. The first one died after getting banished by a random Minotaur in depths, and the second one, well, it just died to me being impatient and not waiting for my teleport to trigger. Okay, very good. Brand weapon in D2, interesting. I think that can happen now, and it wasn't able to happen before. So yeah, kind of a bit of a surprising thing. I guess I'm not used to these new spicy D1s or early levels where crazy things can happen. So what god should we go with this character? I don't really know. I tried Ashensari. I like Ashensari, but I don't think Ashensari is that good for Jhin. The best god has to be Maclef. Unfortunately, Maclef is kind of the only god that regains you HP. I mean, I know there's like Ru, but I don't like Ru. Like I really am not a fan of the whole inflict horrifying permanent debuffs on you to gain power. So yeah, I wouldn't go Ru normally. Like I would only go Ru if I wanted to win the character for a weird reason. Like if I needed to win a Ru character. That would be like the only time I would go to. Maybe with a mummy as well, because draw out power makes you unconfused, and that's good. But I think Ashensari might even be better than Ru for that. Apocalypse is strong, not gonna deny it, but the journey for Apocalypse and surviving the rest of the game after getting all the debuffs from Ru is very iffy, you know, really not my thing. Excellently cast that. Okay. D3 Sigmund, that's a no-no. The Shining One. The Shining One does heal you, but it only heals you on very specific circumstances. Actually, I don't know how the Shining One interacts with Jhin. If you're worshipping the Shining One, can you get spells that the Shining One doesn't like? That would be interesting. Oh, look at that! Egypt had a one paralysis. Look at that, we didn't die as a result of that. Not gonna complain about it. The one on the Bessa, I think we can kill them. Book test the Shining One, Jin. Please, lol, find the bad spells. I hope that I don't get like. Imagine like being with the Shining One and have your high level spells be like the Necronomicon, like just straight up the Necronomicon. That would be very miserable. Because it pretty much means that you have to do with what you got before those spells. Okay, easy kill on the one and Dubesa, but I would rather be at full HP to fight that Jin, or to fight that Necrophage rather. And I would also rather not be within melee range of that Necrophage. Okay, so here's the thing. I have Mystic Blast. Not too afraid of this Ogre because of Mystic Blast. I guess I can just kill it before it reaches me. Just gonna put that there. I'm probably never gonna cast it. I guess a Jin is kind of like the perfect opportunity to try those spells that I never cast because they're dual school with hexes. Thanks to like the Jin's ability to cast anything from spell casting alone, you don't really have to make an investment into hexes. So I guess I could try Dazzling Slash in this character, but I'm probably not gonna do so. And yeah, I guess we are going to go on the Shining One just for the memes, for the sake of discovery. Still no the Shining One, so I guess we are free from the Shining One, at least for now. Okay, so far so good. Mystic Blast is a pretty good spell. We're on D4, and we have 3% chance of miscast Mystic Blast. Jin really feels so good. Like, book start Jin is like excellent. I'm really having a good time with these book start Jins. With the melee start Jins, I guess it was a combination of okay, I guess the melee start Jins had a combination of like melee was bad and also melee Jin was bad, so I didn't really have a good time with those. But so far I've been having a good time with these Jins. A Knockloff plant, oh, sapling, guarding the entrance to the temple. How mean that is. Mystic Blast is your favorite spell in the game because damage plus gets enemies upstairs. Force Lands used to do a similar thing to Mystic Blast. You needed to aim it, however, and it had a bit more range, and it didn't hit everything surrounding you. But yeah, Force Lands and Mystic Blast are very similar. Okay, that went pretty well. We were able to kill the sapling before it hurt me, thanks to the wonders of Mystic Blast. No altar of... No altar of the Shining One in here, unfortunately. Truly a shame. I hope that I find it sooner rather than later. So we are currently listening to the Crypt of the Necromancer soundtrack. Never played that game, but I've heard that it's pretty good. And a lot of my, well, not a lot, but a couple of my old NetHack buddies recommended the game to me back in the day. I think when it released, but I never really checked it out until rather recently. And it was like very seriously discounted, so I just decided to buy it on a whim because it was like almost free. It was like surprisingly cheap, so I just decided to go ahead and buy it. Haven't played it yet. I also haven't played FTL and other games that I have acquired. Really should give those a try one of these days. Just enough identify to identify my potions. Very good. I didn't really notice, but is Berserker still recommended for the Jin? Because I really do think that shouldn't be the case. Jin really shouldn't have Berserker recommended. Okay, Maggie with a glaive too, and acid scales. Okay, I happened to get Meph when I leveled up to 7, so I guess we can use Meph against Maggie. There we go. That's a very good line of text. Maggie appears confused. Maggie is almost dead. Let's try again. And now we get our reward in the form of the acid scales. Before I wear them, I guess it's okay for me to wear them. It doesn't really hurt my spells that much, so I guess we are okay. And it is a bit better than just wearing a plain robe. Oh, wait. I completely forgot that white imps are like death sentences for Jin. You really need to treat them like they are Grinder or Sigmund or something, because otherwise they can deal very huge amounts of damage to you and you can very easily die as a result of that. Animate Death. Well, that's a necromancy spell. I guess as soon as we find the Shining One, things are gonna be getting a bit interesting for my character. Alright. Pretty easy kill on Menkaure, okay. Still no the Shining One. But I did have Maklev, I should have gone Maklev. Have you played that game, Shaper? You wish you liked it better. I've heard people say that it's like the perfect combination between a roguelike and another genre, which in this case would be a rhythm game. I've also heard people say that it's like a really hard game, but I have never tried it. I would assume that it's like as hard as a normal roguelike with the added challenge of the rhythm game. So if you're very dysfunctional as far as rhythm goes, you will probably not have a good time when playing that game. Okay, so we have Sigmund and Grinder. I guess we are just gonna go ahead and skip this level. Maybe Sigmund was guarding the altar of the Shining One. That is a very possible thing. Bemani. I don't know what Bemani is, or Bemani. But yeah, it is really a rhythm game. Okay. IMB happens to work really well when they are like hitting each other and the walls and stuff. I like it. Does it make a lot of noise? It seems to make quite a bit of noise. I wonder if I can reach the stairs. Okay, I can reach the stairs. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Emani Konami Rhythm Games. Beatmania. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah, like those Japanese shortenings of names that like take pretty much the starting like glyph of the name of the thing they're trying to shorten. I have no idea what you were talking about, but after you explained Beatmania, then it does make a lot of sense. What is that? Why am I not picking that up? That sounds like a very good thing to carry around. Okay. I feel like in this version of the game I play so much faster than in 0.16. I wonder what causes that. Yeah, I really do wonder, because it doesn't seem that different, but I guess it is very different behind the scenes. Might be the fact that I'm playing in or in Kelby, not in Akrasiak. I always get a lot of lag to Akrasiak. Due to familiarity, it's probably that. I was really unfamiliar with 0.16. It has a bunch of things that I like, but it's not a version that I've played a lot of. It was pretty hard, especially the early game. The early game was like super unforgiving. I think the early game right now is like very like lenient. You get to identify a bunch of very good things very early into the game, which wasn't really the case in 0.16. As a result of that, the game was like much harder, right? Wow, Joseph was like not getting confused by those math clouds. It was so fun to see. Oh, did you change your color? Yeah, if you haven't set a color on your like on your Twitch name, you can do so, and it actually helps me a lot, because there's a color that is not like correctly displayed by my monitor, which is pretty annoying, and whenever one of you gets that color randomly, I have to like refresh my chat so I can actually read the color or read your name. So yeah, I did. I just found out you can. Yeah, my name has been no, your color is perfect. As it is right now, it's perfect. In fact, every now and then, whenever you chat, I have to refresh because your name was like just random colors. But I'm very glad that you set it to something that prevents me from having to do that in the future. My color is that one. I like that one a lot. I've had it forever. Also, funny thing, it looks different between my two monitors. I have two monitors. One of them is an IPS monitor. The other one is like a TN panel, a more traditional cheap one, but achieves lower latency and higher refresh rates and stuff like that for cheaper. So that's what I have. In my IPS monitor, I have OBS and the chat, and in the other one I have the SSH client and pretty much everything that I'm actually using to play the game. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Alright, pretty good. So I like to train a lot of fighting with my Jin, because more fighting means more HP, which means more mana. If you can call it that, I guess. Okay. What is even in here? Nothing really. Like gold and a ghost and a flail of chaos. I don't think I'm gonna open that. It is D7. I should have found the altar of the Shining One already if I was going to find it. All of the altars that generate in the game normally, like, you know, the ones that are not Jiba or Luganu or Beog, generate between before like D8 or something. Yeah, it's like D8 or D9, something weird. I didn't explore the entirety of like D3 because there was Sigmund, but I think I can kill Sigmund now. I think I am prepared. Sigmund could still hurt and could still hex me, but I think I can deal with Sigmund. There we go. That went pretty well. What level did I not finish exploring? They're about to make altars generate up to D10 now. That is a nerf to the player experience. I guess it is a way to teach the player that it's like okay to not go the same god every time, you know. There's a lot of people that advocate for just going pretty much the first god that you find. I'm not really too much of a fan of doing that. But if it works for people, it works for people. I like going some specific gods. Like I pretty much decided as soon as I start a character, except for some specific situations. I try to go for early gods as soon as you can, or as much as you can. It is indeed like a very valid strategy. I prefer to worship like my comfort gods, unless I'm doing like polytheist. Now that I'm not doing polytheist anymore, I would pretty much go Kawaru on most, if not all, of my characters. But that doesn't make for a very fun viewer experience, I guess, and that's why I don't really do it that much. And for Jin, I would, if I wanted to like streak Jin, if I have to play like 5 Jin and win them all, I would probably play Jin Venom Mage of Maclef. That would be what I would play. I guess I was not out of picking up things. Weird. Okay, we one-shot the centaur with Mystic Blast. Mystic Blast deals a ton of damage. It really is a very good spell. I like the current state of Mystic Blast. That is pretty good. That is much better than Acid Scales actually, because it prevents me from getting absolutely nuked by a monster with a cold weapon or something along those lines. You made killing Joseph look easy. He's one of the early uniques your human fire elementalists have some trouble with. Joseph deals a ton of damage, but and the big issue about Joseph is that he generates with a launcher. So pretty much if Joseph can see you, he can deal a ton of damage to you. But fortunately for me, I happened to have Meph. I got Meph from level up way before I found Joseph, so it was a very easy kill. Just Meph in conjunction with Mystic Blast and slamming Joseph against the wall for that bit of extra damage. So, I have not found the altar of the Shining One, have I? Yeah, I haven't found it. So, maybe I'm gonna be like going for a while before I find a god. And it's kind of a shame because I really wanted to find it as soon as possible for obvious reasons. I wanted to get the most level up spells with the Shining One as possible to see if I got like a Necromancy spell. This centaur, like right in the open, is pretty terrifying for like any character. Is pretty terrifying actually. Okay, I think the safest thing to do is probably to just like shoot Meph at it and hope for the best, pretty much. Okay. Oh wow! Like I took 22 from this shadow. I greatly dislike shadows. I feel like it's gonna destroy me. Okay, maybe let's get out of this level. Okay, round 2 against the centaur. Now I have a corridor, or rather a corner, and with a corner, a centaur is pretty easy to kill as long as you have damage output, which I do. I just don't have survivability because a spellcaster. Okay, pretty good. Early centaurs have turned plenty of your human fire elementalists into pink cushions. They really suck. Like, early centaurs now are pretty messed up dangerous. The whole thing with the attack delay and stuff, it also affected early game centaurs. So if they were awful already, they are even more so now. Alrighty, that went pretty well. Oh, apparently D1 halberd knolls have already been removed from the game. And I'm very glad for that, because D1 halberd knolls were extremely messed up with the changes to monster attack delay. That's something that definitely is not compatible with the changes to attack delay. Okay. Oh, Altar of the Shining One. It finally happened. It took me forever. It was literally the final altar that we found in the game. So it's time for me to go with the Shining One. And casting the spell will place you under penance. Really cast. No, let's place it here. Where would we place it so that we never cast it? I guess there. So from now on, we shall see if I get like a necromancy spell or something. I'm really interested in figuring out, even though I think that the Shining One is definitely not like the optimal goth to go with a Djinn. I like Djinns. Like, Djinns have a lot of very cool synergies and differences when you compare them to other spellcasters. Like, for example, most of the spellcasters would have issues if they encountered like a ghost moth or something that drained your mana, right? The Djinns don't really have that issue because they don't have mana. But on the other hand, Djinns also cannot benefit from effects that give you more mana or stuff like that. And effects that give you more HP are very weird. Where does a Djinn go to avoid becoming a beast? A gymnasium? Okay, that's pretty bad. So funny thing, since I'm not a native speaker, sometimes I have issues with puns. Or, well, not really issues, but I don't really understand them. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. But I've heard from people that it's more of a blessing than a curse. Yeah, we got LRD. I'm kind of figuring out where would be the best place to put it. LRD is a pretty fun spell, pretty good too. Oh, look at that! I am gonna give that some use. Yeah, that's a pretty fantastic thing to find as a conjurer. Yeah, I got Animate Death before going the Shining One, but since I really don't care about Necromancy, I just wanted to go the Shining One anyway, just to try to find out if you get like Necromancy spells after worshipping the Shining One, just out of curiosity. So having LRD in Crystal Walls is very convenient. I wonder how long that synergy is gonna remain in the game. Like the whole, oh yeah, using LRD in Crystal Walls deals more damage and makes a bigger explosion. I can see it being removed for the same reasons other things have been removed, like spoilery mechanics with the spell. I guess that was the reason given for removal. I like to call it utility. Oh, rendered hand axe. Oh wait, it has willpower. I'm gonna pick it up just in case I need willpower. We can drop that. Never gonna be using that. But yeah, a bunch of hand axes and a couple of Minotaur corpses. I tried to butcher. That's what playing 0.16 does to a person. Um, I would recommend you to not go back to versions with food anymore. Like, I I think those were playable when there was food in the current version of the game, but since that is not the case anymore, it is really hard to play those versions. Um, yeah, it is really hard to play those versions now. I wonder how am I going to deal with these two head augers. I guess I can just wait for them to come towards me and then do that. Still hungry for chunks. No, not really. It was pretty bad. I'm very glad that I am free from the hell and misery that is eating. At least in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, eating in real life is definitely a pleasure. Something that I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, funnily enough, that was a lesson on why you probably shouldn't eat mutagenic chunks if you go back and play an old version of the game. Eating mutagenic chunks got me frail 2, and frail 2 was probably the reason why I died in my previous character. What's the logic for the Shining one? I wanted to see if you get like necromancy spells if you are a Djinn of the Shining one, or if there's like a special case that prevents you from getting those if you are worshipping him. Maybe don't use magic dart. Okay, IMB seems to be like really great for situations like these. The fact that it pushes away monsters is very cute. There is an issue that I'm currently having, however, and that is that it pushes away centaurs, which can be pretty dangerous. As you can see, that centaur just shot me twice, with no regard for my life. I don't know if the centaur should be fast. I think that's like a relic of old crawl. Like now monsters can attack quickly or slowly, or move quickly or slowly. I think centaurs could be like, it moves quickly. That sounds reasonable to me without attacking quickly, but what do I know? What do I know? Do centaurs really need a nerf? I guess that's the most important thing to ask ourselves. I would maybe say yes, because they are pretty messed up as they are nowadays. Ever just died to a centaur moving in from out of line of sight? In fact, that almost happened to this character a couple of minutes ago. Fortunately, I was able to survive that situation, but it did get kind of tricky, like just being in an open space and a centaur appears at the edge of line of sight, and then you are like, this is really bad, and this has very little counterplay because the centaur is fast. Pretty annoying. Okay, shoutouts to Mystic Blast. Pretty good spell. I am very much a fan of Mystic Blast. It is probably my favorite incarnation of Mystic Blast. I've seen 3 versions of Mystic Blasts throughout my time playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. The first one was like a very generic spell. The second one was the version that just made a little explosion. Oh my, that is unexpected. Okay, at least we were able to kill it. And the fire elemental, I don't really care about it. And this is the 3rd iteration. This one you don't really even need to cast it. It hits everything surrounding you and it pushes the monsters away. From the 3 of those, this one has to be like the most interesting one. I like how this bolt didn't have an Earth Elemental, which is the most resilient and the hardest one to kill. for a character that's like on D11. Oh, look at that! That is an Earth Elemental. Never mind. I guess Earth Elementals do appear in this vault. Very annoying. Okay, there's a gauntlet here. We should be able to clear the gauntlet. No big deal. Okay, it's a pretty good spell. Like I am a big fan of being able to just like bully around that vampire and push it away from me as much as necessary. It doesn't even deal that much damage, 2 dice of 16, but I guess it deals more damage if the monster hits the wall or something. Oh, we got Troll Leather Armor. Shoutouts to that. Very good thing to have as a Jin. But I don't know if I want to wear it because what I currently have gives me like the 1 pip of cold resistance that I need to not explode against monsters with cold attacks. Alrighty. Let's try to go get that that gauntlet. So I'm pretty sure this is a shop, and I'm pretty sure this is the gauntlet. I don't know if I want to use that Scarf of Harm. That seems like a very bad idea, actually. Probably just gonna like leave it in my inventory until I have to drop it. Don't use that scarf. Yeah, it's really like probably not a good idea. More intelligence, I guess. Alrighty, let's see what we get here. A Reaper. Nasty. The Robe of Night. Well, that is an item of willpower if we need one. I'm not really that much of a fan of the creased line of sight. It's between that and a bunch of unidentified rings. A pretty lackluster gauntlet. I hope the loot that the Minotaur has is better. Oh, if I want the Robe of Night, I have to fight the Reaper. That is bad. Like, I think this guy just like straight up two-shots me. Like, not even joking, because it hits so hard with the sight. Reapers were one of the most buffed monsters. It is still extremely buff even after the nerf to its base damage, because like the damage was literally doubled and then they just lost 5 base damage. Like, that's a big deal. You don't get to see what the artifacts are in Trunk. No, you do get to see them. It's just that there's no artifacts. That's how bad this gauntlet is. It's like a bunch of Randart, or like a bunch of regular rings, and the Robe of Night. No Randarts. It's a really bad gauntlet. I'm even considering just leaving, but I kind of want to see the loot that the Minotaur has. A World Binder and a Bogart. I think we can maybe kill that. The issue would be with the Reaper. The Reaper is really a big issue. If it's between a Reaper and a Death Scarf, I'm probably just gonna like try to kill the Reaper. Either way, like those two are pretty messed up, and probably I should not do this. But let's give it a try and see how it works out. I feel very strong with my character and Mystic Blast. Mystic Blast really is a fantastic spell. Minotaur probably has Gauntlets of War on Wyrmbane. One can hope for sure. Okay, rest to full HP. And these shadows are no big deal. They even give me back some mana thanks to the Shining One, or HP I guess. The wizard can banish. The wizard can banish, but I have a hand axe of willpower ready to prevent that from happening. But anyway, here we are, and we have to deal with the Reaper. I wish I had Holy Word. Holy Word would be very good right about now. Normally you find, well, not normally, but every now and then you find early Holy Word, and it's kinda in your inventory sitting there like being rather useless. In this case it would be very good for me. Prism, I haven't really used Prism. I'm really not a fan of it because it's a hex, right? Yeah, it's a hex, no wonder I never use it. But I guess we can give it a try now. Prism. I guess we can even like Prism Mystic Blast or something. Okay. The Reaper's almost dead. You kill the Reaper and you feel better about killing the Reaper. Alright. Oh, and we even got a Ring of Willpower in addition to a Robe of Night. Not gonna complain about that. Okay, I hope the Minotaur does have Wyrmbane and like the Hat of the Alchemist and the Scarf of Resistance, or like a bunch of very good stuff. Oh, wait. There's crystal walls here. And guess who has LRD? Okay. The invisible is kind of bad with the shining one, isn't it? It really is. It's like actually useless. This Minotaur will probably destroy me. I don't know what's the best thing to do against that guy. This Minotaur fight might be the hardest thing in the whole game for my character. Probably you should haste. A Minotaur closely misses you. I have LRD. Let's go ahead and try to LRD. Moderately wounded. Maybe again. Moderately wounded. The Minotaur closely misses me, so let's go ahead and push it away. Slams into a crystal wall. Let's try again. Heavily wounded. Hasn't thrown any javelins at me. Okay, I just have to go and speak. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Oh, the Lightful. I gained 3 HP. Very useful. Yes, LRG it to death. I don't know. I think it has a damage output to kill me before that. Yeah, that sucks. I feel like I was doing okay, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, you take 1,000,000 damage. With metal deal more damage here. I think crystal deals more damage than metal. Let's go ahead and find out. Large and more damaging explosion. Metal targets will cause a small but more damaging explosion, and targets made from crystal will cause a large and more damaging explosion. So based on how it's written, like the order in which it's written, you would assume that crystal deals more damage than metal, right? But what do I really know? Something that we also have to consider is that it checks armor class multiple times, so it might not be very good against the Minotaur at all. It would be nice if I could go invisible. I think that would be very important or very good to deal with that Minotaur. Okay, this is gonna be ridiculous, but go invisible, or Abandon the Shining One to lose the Halo, to go invisible, to not die to the Minotaur. I think that's the play. I mean, I hope it works, because it can get lucky and hit me. I mean, I am invisible, but how do we kill the Minotaur now? This escape is pretty amazing if it works. I don't think it's gonna work. Something makes me think that it's not gonna work. You could just run for the escape. I mean, if I don't get destroyed by the Minotaur, which I might. Oh, never mind. Like, goodbye. See you around. Oh, we got 3 new Tremor Stones as well. That's amazing. Okay, pretty good escape. Pretty good escape. Yeah, I'm very glad that I was able to not die to the Minotaur. I probably shouldn't have done that gauntlet at all, because it was like the loot that was shown to me was really bad. The enemies that I faced were kind of dangerous, and the Minotaur was like really hard to kill. But yeah, let's go the Shining One again. I really want to go Maclef, but I really want to find out if you get a Necromancy spell while worshipping the Shining One as Jin. Oh, also, yeah, I cannot go Maclef because the Shining One would get annoyed if I went Maclef. What was the Minotaur wielding? A glaive of something. It's an item, a two-handed polearm that I was not gonna be using. A glaive of something is what it had. Pretty good escape there, if I do say so myself. The Shining One welcomes you back. Wow, and I even got a bit of piety back. You could probably two-shot Psych with LRD. Yeah, I can and I will. I just wanted to get my piety or my god back before doing anything else. LRD on those guys. Shining One accepts my kill. And again. Alright, that went pretty well. Not gonna complain about that. Hilarious how LRD trivializes one of the most dreaded late D spawns, the Skeletal Warriors. Yeah, LRD is like amazing against the Skeletal Warriors. It's so good. I wonder what these scrolls are. What if they are Acquirement? Oh, they are Amnesia. Such a shame. I spent a lot of money on useless scrolls. I guess it's fine. Okay, it feels good to have 100 HP by this point in the game. It really does feel very good. This is kind of annoying. I wish I could cast it without like manually casting it. Oh. That is the most dreaded late D spawn. Yeah, that is by far the most dreaded late D spawn. I don't think I have anything that I can really do against Rupert. See, 56% paralyzed. What happens if I wheels that? 23. What happens if I on top of that put on a Ring of Willpower? That should bring the paralyzed chance to very low. Yeah, 4%. I'm not really a fan of using Prism because I don't really kite monsters away. It might be a good idea now that I think about it. What seems inconsistent to me is that a Lich is also a skeleton, but you cannot target them with LRD. Also the same with Ancient Champions. I don't know if a Lich is always a skeleton. I I think some depictions of liches are kind of like zombies and stuff, like corpses depicting the injuries that they had in life, not necessarily only skeletons. Hello, Minties. It's not Jin Venom Mage, it's not Jin Ice Elementalist, it is Jin Conjurer, because I killed both the Deep Elf Fire Elementalist and the Jin Ice Elementalist. Let me go ahead and upload and update the title. Hello, Minties, by the way. You missed insanely. 5 had abandoned the Shining One into invisibility. Yeah, it was a pretty good move. Like I'm kind of proud of that one. Something that I would not do against or with any god that has Wrath, but the Shining One doesn't have a Wrath unless you go like Maclef, so it's fine. Now we have the issue of Rupert. I think Rupert isn't really that much of an issue if we think about it. Yeah, not only because we can confuse him, but because we can also like push him away with Mystic Blast. Oh no, I am scared. Mistakes were made. I was a bit too arrogant, I guess. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's try to confuse Rupert. Wait, a chance to affect 24%. Is it going to work? I don't think it will. I think I should just like teleport and leave the level. Okay, that kind of works. Goodbye, Rupert. See you around. Yeah, Mystic Blast is pretty good. I am really a fan of Mystic Blast as it is right now. Really fantastic spell. I love it. Let's drop a couple of things before proceeding with the game. The Scarf of Harm, the Robe of Night, the Ring of Seeing Invisible, the Scrolls of Enchant Armor, the Scroll of Torment, the Potion of Attraction, and we are good to go. And once we finish training fighting, I don't know if it is between dodging and evocations. I want to get a lot of evocations early because I have Tin of Tremor Stones, right? That's like a pretty fantastic spell. Or rather, Tin of Tremor Stones is a very good reason to train for evocations. Okay, I took a lot of damage just by immediately going downstairs. This is a pretty messed up start to Lair. Just a black mamba and a cane toad sitting on the stairs. Mystic Blast plus Passage of Golubria. I have not used Passage of Golubria a lot in my crawl career. There's people like before the nerf, people swore that it was like amazing and a really fantastic spell. Never really gave it a lot of use myself, so I cannot confirm or deny those claims. But it looks like a very interesting spell. But I would prefer like Controlled Blink. Controlled Blink was so good. Post nerf still good. Wow, I'm just like, excuse me, am I not 7%? Those things always petrify me with willpower. So unlucky. Can't Prism then. You cast Prism first, then you keep pushing Rupert back. If you have enough space, you can use Prism bot flanks against Rupert. Yeah, I mean, I could see myself killing Rupert, but I could also see myself like, haha, Rupert paralyzes you and then goes Berserk, you die. That obviously cannot really happen when Rupert is Berserk, but if he's Berserk, he just moves super fast. And File of Floods doesn't even work against Rupert, like, doesn't work to prevent him from Berserking. It is such a shame that Rupert is just so strong in that regard, that not even like lucky early game finds like like a File of Bloods do a lot against him. I am a fan of Mystic Blast. Like, what else do you really need? You can just go ahead and Mystic Blast everything to death. Let's go ahead and step on this alarm trap. Bunch of snakes. Taking a lot of damage here. Not really taking a lot of damage, but like using a lot of mana. I guess we can take that off and word throw letter for the regen. I hope that I find... Ooh, look at that. That is a pretty good find. I don't know if it's better than the Staff of Conjuration, however. Yeah, it's really synergistic. The fact that your starting book has Mystic Blast and Fulminant Prism, so you can push the monsters into a position where they would be affected by Mystic Blast. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's a pretty fun mini game. I wish Fire Elementalist got something similar to that instead of a spell that literally becomes useless if you're in a corridor. I don't know, maybe I am a bit too salty about the Fire Elementalist thing, but I'm just not a fan. What's this music? It is the soundtrack for Crypt of the Necromancer. I hope you enjoy it. No problem, Mintice, anytime. You can just ask and even like suggest soundtracks. I especially appreciate it if you do. Oh, I got Hydra form. This is post buff Hydra form. Yeah, I don't really care. I feel like Transmuter got like very nerfed now that they don't get Blade Hands on the starting book, because Blade Hands is like exponentially better than Hydra form. Hydra form is a really bad spell. In fact, I'm very surprised that it's still in the game. It nukes your defenses, and the damage doesn't really compensate for the nuking of your defenses the way Dragon Form does. So it's just like overall a very bad spell. I would like not cast it. Okay, I guess it's time to try the Fulminant Prism thing. Casting it for poison resistance in Snake, that sounds miserable. I hope things get better for you. Okay, this Rhyme Drake could be a serious threat to my ability of living, but fortunately we can hex it. Okay. Now I know where that song is from. I've heard it in some Mario ROM hacks from streamers that I watch, because I personally don't like platforming. Like, I appreciate it, and I did play a lot of platforming games when I was a kid, but I'm just like not a fan of it anymore. Maybe some of that is related to the fact that throughout a fair amount of my life I had a controller with drifting, so platforming was like near impossible, or at least precision platforming. Maybe I should try it now that I got my new PS5 controller. I got it a couple of months ago, and I've been mostly using it to play fighting games, and it really does work for that purpose, but I think I kind of destroyed the D-pad already. Probably should ask for a refund on that. I got it in like November or December, and I have had it for a couple of months, and the D-pad, like, you can clearly tell that one of the buttons has like much less resistance than the other ones, and it's like such a pain to open up and fix myself, because if it was not so painful, if it was as easy as opening up a 360 controller, I would do it myself, but since it's like it's a very anti-consumer thing if you think about it. I am a fan of like fixing things myself, really, but unfortunately that's something that apparently is not appreciated by companies and stuff. Truly a shame. But yeah, going back to the platforming thing, I don't think I am very interested in playing platformer games. They just don't really attract me that much anymore. Can Alocha target you with Banish if you're invisible? I think she can attempt to... Wow, okay. Okay, I guess... Wow, that Hydra was lame. I think Herolcha can try to target a random tile, and she might get lucky and target where you are. So maybe don't mess around with Herolcha if you are like vulnerable to banishment, invisibility or not, unless you can like disable her in some other way with like paralysis or confusion with Meph or like something along those lines. Then you should be good to go. She may or may not be hanging around the Orc Monsters. That's rough. What are you tonight? I saw that you were playing like some Minotaur something. Were you playing some Minotaur something? I was expectating you earlier today, but I cannot really remember what you were playing tonight. Oh, Minotaur Transmuter. Yeah, that was what you were playing. I think we can just like Fulminant Prism here and walk away. Oh, it didn't kill the Hydra. Yeah, that was pretty lame. I failed to push away the Hydra, and it hit me for 52 damage. Well, not really. It didn't really hit me for 52. It hit me for 48 because I was casting IMB. But still, like, that was 52 damage in a single turn. I guess at the end of the day, that's what really counts, that I took so much damage in a single action. Okay, this bolt with the Basilisks is like such a pain if you don't have willpower. Fortunately, I do have 1 pip of willpower. So I was able to kill all of them. Very good indeed. Let me go ahead and do the thing that I always do, and well, that I always want to do, but I always forget about. Prism takes 2 turns before it explodes, so if you take the prism, if you place a prism next to the character and then walk away from the prism, by the time you take 2 steps out of the blast radius, it will explode, but you will be fine. That is indeed how it works. I'm really not a fan of using prism because, like, I feel like the whole HUD when it comes to the prism, like placing it and then waiting and then having it explode and having it be destroyable by monsters. I'm really not a fan of that. I prefer the simplicity of just casting Mystic Blast and bash monsters against the walls and push them away from me in the process. I really like all of that much more than casting Prism. But probably casting Prism is better in some situations like this one where I'm fighting like literally 4 elephants at the same time. So I guess I can add a Prism and keep casting Mystic Blast. Okay, that went pretty well, I would say. That went pretty fantastic. Okay, I think I'm dealing a lot of damage. I don't know if the damage comes from the fact that I got an early Staff of Conjurations as a Conjurer. It might be the case. Anyway, I wouldn't have been able to survive all of that fight without being a Djinn. Like, if I had not been a Djinn, I would have run out of mana for sure during that fight with pretty much any other character, even a Deep Elf that gets so much mana, or a Demigod. Only Jin would have been able to spam their way out of that fight. I really am liking Jin a lot. I feel like Jin are definitely gonna become like some of my favorite dedicated spellcasters. I think I cornered myself. Wow, 8% to dodge and it dodges. Really unlucky. Alrighty, so far so good. Mystic Blast is really wonderful. Definitely not on the same power level as like Toxic Radiance and Ignite Poison, but pretty good nonetheless. It's pretty good to push monsters away from you and have them be literally unable to melee you. That removes like a huge part of the threat of the early game that is mostly comprised of monsters that melee you. Sure, there's a spellcasters and everything, but more often than not, you're gonna be encountering monsters like, for example, that 8-headed Hydra or these wolves, that kind of stuff. Monsters that just do one thing, but are kind of very good at that one thing. Alrighty, that's 15 fighting, 12 evocations, 12 spellcasting. Next thing we're gonna be training, it's gonna be like 12 dodging. And maybe at some point I will train a weapon. I'm not really that much of a fan of training a weapon with a Jin. I mean, I do see the utility, but I would prefer not to do so. That went pretty well. Like, I think with most other characters I wouldn't have been able to do that. Oh, it's such a good character. Really a fan of Mystic Blast as it is right now. It's like old Force Lance, but so much better. I should probably go and play Ogre Conjurer, because if it feels this good to play Jin Conjurer, Ogre Conjurer has to be similarly good with their massive HP. Yeah, really a fan of Ogre spellcasters as well. The HP is a very helpful thing to have as a spellcaster, and they have bad aptitudes, but they don't really need a lot of spellcasting or something to be able to function as good spellcasters. That's a better weapon to have around for willpower. Yeah, I wish I could use a Snakebite. Snakebite is a pretty cool weapon, but I don't think this character can afford to devote experience into whips, or rather maces and flails. Or more like, not that it cannot afford to do so, but it doesn't need to do so. That's more accurate. Big damage there. You would love to see Ogre Conjurer. Conjurer is your second favorite start after Venom Mage. Oh, am I a reason why you like Venom Mage so much? I mean, my frequent playthroughs of Ogre Venom Mage have influenced you in some way. Because if so, I'm kind of achieving my goal of showing people that Venom Mage is actually pretty good as it is nowadays. And I'm very pleased to hear that. Yeah, Venom Mage is definitely like my pocket background, my comfort background. Whenever I want to get a win, I just turn on a Venom Mage, and it certainly gets me the win. Alrighty. Mystic Blast is fantastic. I'm not looking forward to the point in the game where Mystic Blast starts to fall off, which will happen eventually. Like it's the nature of the starting book spells. They need to fall off. If they didn't fall off, they would be kind of too overpowered, which is what happens with Toxic Radiance. It doesn't fall off, it remains amazing for the entirety of a 3-rune game, and you can reasonably win with only offensive spells from the Book of the Venom Mage. It might be annoying against monsters with poison resistance or immune to poison, but you can certainly do it. Honestly think it was random Great Char recommendation that I got for Merfolk Venom Mage, but you decided to try it because of your enthusiasm, and you got a one-on-one. That's very good to hear. Very glad to hear that you enjoyed it. If you have not tried Ogre Venom Mage, you should really consider it at some point in the near future. I like Merfolk Venom Mage, but I don't know. Like I've never really had a lot of success with Merfolk. I think I have a Merfolk one-on-one in this account. I cannot really remember what it is, but I do remember that it took me a couple of attempts to get a one-on-one with Merfolk in this account. Let's find out. Merfolk Venom Mage. I also one-on-one Merfolk Venom Mage, but I think I killed a Merfolk in SOT. I actually remember very clearly how that Merfolk died. I was in SOT, I was doing very well, I had the Orb, and I found a Pandemonium Lord that just was spamming Summon Demon on top of a Net Trap back when Net Traps were seriously overpowered, and I ended up dying as a result of that. Very annoying. That prevented me from one-on-winning something else. It was another Merfolk, definitely not Venom Mage. Oh, look at that, we got Noxious Bug. I'm gonna give it some use right now. Yeah, let's kite those yaks into a more favorable position for me to use Noxious Bug on them. What's the button for Bug? It's H. Alright. 12 dodging, 12 evocations, 12 spellcasting, and 15 fighting. What should we get next? I'm gonna turn on armor as a placeholder. There's a buckler on D7. Okay, I guess we are gonna be training for shields. Merfolk Venom Mage was super tight, tanky hybrid, those polearm stats are free mode. Yeah, +4, like, people who say aptitudes don't matter kind of underestimate aptitudes. When people say that aptitudes don't matter, what they actually want to say is that aptitudes don't matter after a certain point in the game, but they certainly do matter for the early game, and having good aptitudes is a good way to get a strong character. In fact, most of 2 miscasts? Seriously? Okay. In fact, some of my strongest characters are like characters with good aptitudes, because I get to a power level early enough that where it's like not a big deal for me to kill things, and if I don't have issues killing things, it's less likely for me to get into bad situations, or at least that's the experience that I've had with the game. Alrighty. We can kill that thing very easily. Okay. You're more comfortable with melee than casting, but it was strong for you. Shield time, yeah, shield time. You're kind of in the aptitudes don't matter camp if it's -1 through +1. Anything over +3 is a free start though. Yeah, except if it's like a really bad aptitude in, or at least that's what I've encountered myself. Like if it's +3 on stealth, like I'm not gonna be very happy about it because normally I don't train stealth. Um, and funnily enough, like the species with the most aptitude in anything have like +5 stealth. Vampires and Nagas, I think they both have +5 stealth. So lame. This is your favorite Necromancer game soundtrack? I've never played Necromancer. Oh. 1-1 with Shopkeeper. Huh. Yeah, I've never played it, but I have it. I recently bought it. Really should try it one of these days. Okay, I think it's time for me to go back to that, and we can pick up the buckler. It's so sad that we found 2 condenser banes with the shining one. I think that's a very good reason to abandon the shining one. Not gonna lie. Okay, let's go do Orc. It didn't take me very long to clear Lure. How long did it take me? An hour and 15 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. A good time. I'm no speedrunner or anything. Like I don't have the patience for that, and I've said in several occasions that I think of speedrunning as a way to learn how to hate a game that you once loved. So I wouldn't really try to speedrun myself, but I admire speedrunners that can do it without growing to hate their game. Okay, I think we need to go back to spellcasting. Fans Bane as the Shining One Worshipper in Jaina 7. Oh, I wouldn't abandon. Like, obviously within reason, right? Like, I would advocate for abandoning the Shining One or Zin if you found Condenser Bane early enough. For Zin, early enough would be at any point. For most other characters, it would be like within reason. Things are getting kind of scary here. Yeah, they're getting kind of scary. Maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew. Okay, so far so good. Like, we have low HP and we're surrounded by priests, but it's fine. Not really that threatened by what we currently have on the screen. That high priest, however, is kind of scary. Oh, Nessus. Oh, shout out to Nessus. Nessus is definitely gonna be a problem. Okay, I think I'm gonna read another emulation. Now we are gonna use LRD because I happen to get LRD. LRD should make Nessus explode very easily. Nessus didn't explode. I mean, oh, never mind, Nessus did explode. Yeah, there we go. Now I would like to get out of here. I took a lot of damage during that fight. I have no idea where I really started taking damage, but it certainly did happen. Mm. Oh, you have a halberd. Okay, that is a problem. Mm. I think that was the orc bolt or something. I mean, I did kill like a lot of it, but I clearly don't have the HP to continue fighting here. Probably should read a teleport and try to escape. Oh, great teleport. If teleport is not cooperating, I guess we can brute force it by blinking into the stairs. And unfortunately, we cannot really go downstairs in that situation. Yeah, when the High Priest summons a Tormentor, the High Priest didn't summon a Tormentor. High Priests cannot summon Tormentors because Tormentors are greater demons. It used to happen like way back in the day when Tormentors were lesser demons, but not anymore. Fortunately, not anymore. I think that went pretty well. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna complain about the result that we got there. But we have to go down there at some point, and that kind of scares me. The game doesn't require you to have a buckler in your inventory to train shields and trunk. I think that hasn't been the case for a while now. I think it was in 0.26 when that change was made. Yeah, if like the game shows you the skills that you would benefit from training, pretty much. But you can press like asterisk and it shows you everything, and you can train whatever, like including, for example, Necromancy. If you have like a weapon of pain or something, and for some reason it's not revealed. But I think we should be okay. When you get stuck in Orc like that, you have to read Magic Mapping and Wand of Digging. I may have Magic Mapping, I don't know. Oh, we have Holy Word. Good to know that we have that. Okay, what I can do is read Teleport and go downstairs. Excellent. That got exactly the result that I wanted. Okay, I went with the greedy usage of Condenser Vein there. Unfortunately, it's probably gonna pay off. I wish those things weren't so far away. Oh, this would be the perfect point, the perfect moment for me to use a Potion of Attraction. I don't have them because I really dislike the item, and I killed myself once by confusing them with Potions of Lignification because they're both purple in the inventory. So ever since then I tried not to pick them up, but they would certainly be a useful thing to have right now. Yeah, attraction would destroy everything here. Like attraction plus Mystic Blast. I should probably keep those up. Keep your evocations low to never get negative clouds. Too late for that. I already have 12 evocations. But I'm probably not gonna use a lot of Condenser Bane. This is a better character, and the Shining One is a better god than Xin, so I don't think I will need to use Condenser Bane a lot to kill things. I really don't know what's like the best thing to do here. These guys are not gonna be stepping towards me. Okay, if I had Fireball, that would be an excellent Fireball moment. Unfortunately, I don't have Fireball. I guess I can Condenser Bane them. Oh, didn't Waterlock the Sorcerer. Paralyze 7%. We can drive that lower by just like wielding this Falchion that I got with Willpower. Okay, pretty good usage of the Tremor Stones. Dealt a lot of damage to everything. Alright, that went pretty well. Alright, excellent. Not gonna complain about that. That went as good as it can go. Didn't even like take a lot of damage. Okay, so this character fought off a warlord band and a bunch of priests, high priests, and pretty much every high tier orc that you can think of. And it came out not only alive, but also like didn't really have to use a lot of consumables. It was a pretty good fight in my opinion. On the other hand, this is kind of going downhill. Okay, we killed the sorcerer, which was the one thing that actually worried me. The rest of these guys are like kind of pushovers. Alrighty, that went quite well. But I'm really not a fan of taking so much damage. Yeah, I cannot afford to use that. Just gonna drop it. Okay, so I think I cleared the vault pretty much, but I didn't get the shops. I should probably go and get the shops. A kite shield, okay. I probably shouldn't buy it. Decent weapon, 5 strength and resistance to electricity, not bad. Also speed of venom, very good for the early game. We are already kind of past the early game, however. Oh, that's a very good ring. I'm probably gonna buy that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy that. This ring like pretty much removes any danger of getting destroyed by failure to pass a willpower check. That allows me to drop that. And yeah, we're probably gonna be using that ring for the rest of the game. I don't have a cloak. Oh, the only cloak that exists in my game is a Scarf of Harm that we are not gonna be using because I don't want to die. I happen to be a fan of not dying in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, so I don't use Scarves of Harm. Wow, bad items in here. Yeah, we didn't really get anything too fancy. I think the best thing that we got, apart from that ring, has to be the kite shield. But I don't think I want to buy that right now. Kind of an underwhelming orc for how dangerous it was. It even forced me to use a scroll of blinking. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to find an Amulet of Regeneration. It seems that whenever you really want an Amulet of Regeneration, it just doesn't appear. Okay, let's go ahead and finish the dungeon. Oh, Rupert existed in this level. I don't think I'm strong enough to deal with Rupert just yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the level for my own safety. Because as I mentioned before, I don't like dying, so I usually try my best to not die in this game. Okay. Oh, a bunch of centaurs. That could be an issue. Yeah, centaur. The issue is that I'm at half HP. Wow, it resisted. The centaur warrior resisted twice. Have you ever won a game without using any artifacts? Probably. It wouldn't be like surprising to me if I had won a game without using any artifacts. Sometimes you just get really unlucky with your artifacts. Okay, we got paralysis on that centaur. In fact, that I was going to go and kill it, but I think it's a safer thing to just leave. That doesn't look very good for me. Yeah, the Shining One on +9 Broad Axe, like, that is a very good combination for extended. I prefer blessing an Arbalest, but ever since everything in Tomb got so many summon spells, using an Arbalest in Tomb is very hard. Still very effective against the rest of extended, however. Oh, no teleport. I ran out of teleport. I could use it right about now. Yeah. Centaur Warrior appeared on the screen and proceeded to immediately destroy me. They are too buff. I think they maybe need a nerf. Yeah, it's surprising how bad it is for a character like mine to encounter a centaur band. I wonder if it's related to the fact that I have like very bad armor class. It has to be the case. It must be because of that. Tengu Chain Lightning? No, I didn't drop so low that it would appear there, so I guess we're gonna have to go back in time for a bit. Centaur Warrior shoots an arrow. The arrow barely misses you. Imagine if that had hit. But yeah, it was definitely the Conjurer with the bolt of lightning. Okay. Not flawless, but we made it out alive, so we are good to go. And I'm very glad that I didn't buy that kite shield, because this guy has a kite shield of cold resistance. A really amazing item for this character to have, and probably what I'm gonna be using for the rest of the game. I'm not gonna put it on immediately because it's gonna nuke my spells, but I am gonna put it on as soon as I can afford to, without completely crippling myself. Okay, let's see what we got. 13 teleport. Okay, funny trove. Funny treasure trove. I don't think I'm ever gonna reach 13 teleport when we consider that that I currently have 0 teleport. So it's very unlikely that I ever get to the point where I have 13. Oh wow, okay. The Shard of Ice hits you, the Shard of Ice reflects off an invisible shield around you, the Shard of Ice misses Francis. Is this gonna be the game where Francis kills me? No, it's not gonna be the game where Francis kills me. Definitely not. It ain't happening. Francis should be buffed. Should, like, every time I see Francis, like, I'm just so disappointed with what Francis is. Like, the flavor says, oh, Francis killed a Pandemonium Lord. Good luck killing a Pandemonium Lord with, like, Throw Icicle and Summon Demon and 100 HP with no defenses. Like, it's gonna absolutely murder you. Lost to water, yeah. Normally I don't even respect her enough to waterlock her, but in this case it was unfortunately necessary because this character doesn't have very good defenses and it was taking a lot of damage. So yeah, in this particular occasion it was indeed necessary for me to do that. I'm just waiting for the clouds of negative energy to get penance from the Shining One. If I ever get clouds of negative energy, I'm just gonna immediately abandon the Shining One. Francis gets some summons up, they are bad, just like start dance them away or something else. Yeah. So my many issues with Francis come from the fact that Francis is flavored as a Pandemonium, as a character that can kill a Pandemonium Lord, which is definitely not the case. Like it's very misleading for like the one player that actually pays attention to monster flavor text to see, oh, this is what a character that can kill Pandemonium Lords looks like. I should really get Summon Demon and Throw Icicle. I guess it doesn't really matter anymore because Throw Icicle is not even a thing that exists in the game as of today. But yeah, back in the day, I would assume that could have happened. Anyway, Francis is kind of weak if you think about it. Like, compare her with Rupert that appeared like 2 levels earlier. Compared Rupert with Kirky and pretty much compared Rupert with everyone. Rupert is kind of like on the same power level as something like Frederick and Jody, I would say. In the sense that those are like a huge threat at the point of the game where you find them. Rupert is also a huge threat at the point in the game where you find him, and I would say that he remains threatening for a very long period of time. Theoretically, you can find Rupert in bolts as like experience level 18 or something, and Rupert can still be extremely dangerous. It has happened to me before. Francis gets. This is really making me want to play Jin Conjurer. Your experience may vary. Pretty much a rule of thumb to remember. Your experience may vary. I feel like I'm doing quite well with the base spells that I got. Like nothing really fancy or anything. It's just that the starting book for the Conjurer is very good and very usable. Oh, lucky reflection there. It's a pretty good starting book, but definitely my favorite one has to be the Venom Mage starting book. The Venom Mage starting book is just on another power level. It really is an item that defines your character if you find it early enough. Like if you find it pre-lure and you can get a Toxic Radiance up by the time you would want to enter somewhere else that is not the dungeon, you can like enter Orc instead of entering Lure and just like kill any given Orc in like 3 actions. It's so good. Okay, the Amulet of Reflection that I got has been kind of useful for killing those centaurs. Yeah, what I'm currently doing happens to be very bad against centaurs because it just pushes them away from me and then they can shoot me a lot. Lunchtime. I hope you enjoy your lunch, Mintais. So, what should we do now with this character? Where should we go next? My options are Shoals and Spider. I guess Shoals sounds reasonable because I have Noxious Bug, and Noxious Bug destroys Shoals like super bad. Doesn't turn deep water into bog, but it turns shallow water into bog. So if you use it, yeah, you can see there how many tiles would be affected by it. It's a pretty good spell because most of shoals, yeah, most of the places where you will be fighting in shoals are either shallow water or just like open space. So it is indeed a pretty fantastic thing. Do you have resistance to poison? I have immunity because Djinns are immune to poison by default. Very convenient and very good. Not that poison resistance does a lot when you're using bog. If you step on the bog, like monsters with poison resistance that step on the bog are just like straight up gonna get extremely poisoned in like 2 turns. It's like so good. Okay, the Merfolk Avatar dies. Yeah, something makes me think that we are going to be doing quite well with Noxious Bug here. It's a pretty fantastic spell. Is that a Scroll of Acquirement? Oh, it's a Scroll of Noise, but it's a standing in shallow water, which gives it the funny coloring. Do you fly or something? I guess you don't. The Water Elemental festers in the Toxic Bug, so even though it is immune to poison, it still takes some damage from Bug. Not the best spell to kill those, but pretty good nonetheless. It is like completely useless against monsters that fly, however, which is maybe like the one weakness of Noxious Bug. Well, that and how hard it actually is to use. Okay, pretty good. I am very optimistic when it comes to 3 Cyclopes. Okay, what's up with that? Do they generate in bands now or something? Did I miss a memo? This looks like a bolt, now that I think about it. Cyclops dies times 3. Very good. Oh, a Kraken. Okay, so I think I can deal with the Kraken, but not in an open space. I need to be in shallow water. Okay, I'm just gonna re-teleport because this is kind of bad. And so far we haven't gotten any necromancy spells. So yeah, Bog doesn't do anything in deep water, unfortunately. Doesn't turn deep water into the bog. Truly a shame, because if it did, it would be very good for dealing with that Kraken. It would just die immediately. And yeah, the weaknesses of the Conjurer are starting to become very apparent. Now that I am actually encountering monsters that can seriously hurt me from afar, it's starting to show that it's like not a very good spell for not a very good spell for, or not a very good background for the mid game. That's what I wanted to say. As opposed to like Conjurer, or not Conjurer, but Venom Mage. Venom Mage stays really strong throughout the entirety of a 3-rune game. Oh, that's nice. We want those. Do I need Identify? I don't need any more Identify. Oh, books. Truly underwhelming. Fulminant Prism is your long-range spell. Yeah, but the issue is that like it takes a while for it to do anything, right? So like, for example here, I used 2 of those, didn't really kill the Manticore, and while I'm waiting for those to explode, the Manticore is just like shooting some of its barbs at me. Okay, this is a much more favorable position for me to fight the Kraken. Come on, let's go. Are you like? Oh, it can fly. Funny thing that they fly. Okay. Oh, I was not really expecting Mystic Blast to destroy the Kraken as well as it did. Shows to Il's Will. I think I want a Brilliance for this. Something about these seems very positive to me, not gonna lie. It feels very one-sided. Okay, Noxious Bug is amazing for shoals. Pretty much what I was expecting. But that confirms it. Like, it was a very flawless fight against Ilsuiu. I even drank a potion of Brilliance because I thought I was gonna be like spamming Mystic Blast or something to be able to kill Ilsuiu. Turns out that casting Noxious Bug twice is enough to kill her. Yeah, like, Ilsuiu normally is not that easy to kill, right? Shoutouts to this shop with double crystal plate that we are not gonna be using, but interesting thing to generate in a shop. Get over here, Mr. Merfolk Impaler. That is much more alluring and tempting than crystal plate. Much more alluring and tempting. But I still have 6 strength. The Noxious Bug doesn't deal more damage the more you cast it. What I was referring to was that like it wears off very fast, so I had to recast it. So my point was like I cast it, it wore off, and then I cast it again, and then Ilsuiu died. So it was 2 casts of Bug, and it was like 6 turns of damage of Bug, and it killed Ilsuiu very easily. I wish Manticores could be affected by Bug. Level 6 dual school spell that doesn't do anything against flyers. Kind of a shame. Oh, double teleport. I'm gonna buy these. And the fear. And the immolation. A lot of shops here with a bunch of consumables. I got marked. Let's get out of here. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, harpies are annoying. I wouldn't really say that they are very dangerous, but they are indeed quite annoying. I think the most dangerous thing here would be running out of HP, obviously. But the second most dangerous thing would probably be Windrakes are kind of bad with the whole earth striking thing. Wow, I took so much damage. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't know if I agree with that one. Remember when I went downstairs and I lost half my HP and then I read fear and nothing got feared? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that one. The worst part about it is that I think these can water strike me from full screen. It's not even melee, it's the fact that these things hurt. She can touch for 12 damage to deal drowning damage. About 15% chance to hit you, and the water strike. The water strike is what's killing me here. Yeah, let's see. The water rises up and strikes you, the water rises up and strikes you. Double water strike by 2 water nymphs, and they did the same thing the previous turn pretty much. Water rises up and strikes you, the volley of strikes hits, the volley of spikes hits you. Pretty annoying. These things are pretty deadly. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't get feared. The war nymphs resist with almost no effort ×2. I guess they have a lot of willpower. Yeah, I shouldn't have tried fear there. The war covers the stairs too. Yeah, there was no going upstairs there for me, and I cannot walk away because I am affected by barbs. So this is bad, very bad even. But it's not like oh my god. No, it is actually kind of like oh my god, I might die here. The worst part about it is that I need HP to cast the spells. No HP, no spells. So yeah. Oh, got abilities that normally would take mana cost HP for these guys. Interesting. Cancellation for Barb's work? I have no idea. I would not expect it to. Most magical effects, good or bad, affecting one who drinks it. It also reduces magical contamination. Drinking this now will have no effect. That resolves our doubts. Now we know that drinking this potion of cancellation actually doesn't do anything. Fog and teleport. So in my current position, I'm not like at risk of dying to these water nymphs. Because in order for them to water strike me, I need to be standing on water, which I am not right now. But I could next turn if I get unlucky and the tide like covers the wall. Yeah, it's a pretty bad thing to be in the receiving end of these war nymphs. But I think that was partially my fault because I went downstairs after knowing that they were there. Probably the correct thing to do would have been going down different stairs. Mm, doesn't even reach to hit all the nymphs. Okay, we got rid of the nymphs at least. And I also got rid of the barbs. Okay, let's if I had invocations, which I haven't gotten yet, I would love to get like a couple of angels here and then drink ambrosia. Since I don't really have access to those angels, I guess I'm just gonna have to drink ambrosia. Okay, at this point I think I might be able to rest, or maybe not. No, it's not gonna paralyze. Maybe with vulnerability it would paralyze, but I don't really have it. From those effects, Primal Wave is by far the worst because it's like irresistible and deals drowning damage, um, which is irresistible. The pool of shallow water will make it so that any water nymphs that appears at the edge of line of sight could destroy me with water strike. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, at least we didn't die, and that's what really matters. Oh, come on, that is so unlucky. Yeah, that was a big issue. I wanted to rest, hopefully to full HP. How are the things going? I almost died to a couple of water nymphs. I went downstairs after going upstairs, so I knew they were there. I took like 60 damage as soon as I went downstairs, and then I read fear. They obviously didn't get feared because they have a ton of willpower, and I took like 50 damage, and I almost died in 2 turns. So I blinked here pretty much, and I killed them with once, and I survived. And we are just kind of that was pretty much the last thing that happened to this character. It was really a close call for my character. Um, but leaving that aside, I guess we're doing okay. I wish it did something against monsters that fly. If the monster flies, it really sucks. I have to use Fulminant Prism, which by the way is not very good if not very good if you really need to kill something immediately. Oh, look at that! I got CBL. Um, I mean, CBL kind of does resolve my problems, except for the fact that I cannot really cast it because I don't have resistance to electricity. Uh, the only sources of resistance to electricity are that hand axe and that dagger. I guess I can go pick up the hand axe so I can like switch into wielding it if I need to. Um, if I need to cast it. Okay, Noxious Bog doing some wonders. Does the empty -9 equals HP? No, I would assume that it doesn't equal HP because like in a similar vein, you would assume that um, MP plus effects would give you extra HP, which they don't. So yeah, it seems that I didn't really clear the entirety of Shows 1. Must have skipped it, or I just got lucky and I never really encountered those monsters. Anyway, we are getting pretty close to calling it for the night. I wanted to do the entirety of shows tonight, but it was impossible because of that very close call with the Warren Imps that we just got. Mm, let's go and pick up the hand axe, and then we will call it a night. Thank you for watching and thank you for hanging out. Sorry for starting a bit later today, but I really had to do it. I was really hungry. Um, I had a very light lunch earlier in the day and I was kind of not satisfied. So I ended up like asking for takeout, which was very good. Yeah. Now that I have that, let's just go back to shows 3 and maybe kill this Cyclops before calling it a night. If you're not following already, you should consider following. If you're already following, you should consider subscribing if you're not already doing so. If you are, of course, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. And let me just kill these things before we end. Things are getting kind of interesting. Yeah, I think most of the people that are currently watching are already following, if not all of them. I haven't had any new people walk in on the stream for a while now, unfortunately. Um, Growth has kind of stagnated a bit, um, and I don't really know what to do to revitalize it. I wish I knew, but yeah. With that being said, I guess this is a good time to call it for the day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Thursday because tomorrow is Wednesday, and I want to watch Uncle Lionel. He streams on Wednesdays, so yeah, see you around. And I promise that by the time I stream on Thursday, I'm gonna have some new alerts. I want to make some beat alerts that are like a preview of my singing abilities, so you can kind of listen to them at will, if you desire to do so. They're gonna be like 100 bits, 101 bits, and stuff like that, so that people don't really break the bank. I might have like a 1,000 bit one, just like for one that I might consider to be my best one or something, but I'm still not too sure about that. But anyway, I'm just gonna be calling it a night. Oh, Wraith. Let's see who we Wraith. I have. Oh, actually, I kind of have an idea of who I want to Wraith if he is online. He is offline. He's online and he's playing Noita. So yesterday I raided Duncan and Slam, who plays Noita. This time we're gonna raid my friend Natrakus. He is a game developer and he plays Noita and a bunch of other roguelites. He has played a bit of Loop Hero, but he really loves Noita. So I would say that he is very good at Noita. Probably, I wouldn't say that he's on my level of Noita. If I don't know how to put it in English, but like I wouldn't say that he's like an equivalent of me in Noita. That would be the guy that we rated yesterday. But he's pretty good nonetheless, and he is certainly better than me at Noita. So I hope you enjoy his stream. Um, and I hope you have a nice rest of your night. How come your stream is not being advertised as a streaming on the DCSS Discord? I have no idea actually. I mean, I am streaming and I did post an announcement on advertised community. I pretty much do that always. Who knows why it's not being advertised as a streaming? Yep, no idea. But with that being said, that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday. And I hope you have a nice rest of your week until I see you on Thursday. Goodbye.